Nancy Chace, 21 Constitution Street.
Talk into it.
Hello?
There you go.
Gotcha, Nancy.
Nancy Chace, 21 Constitution Street. Good evening. Thanks for this opportunity to speak. I have to admit, you know, I live at, we abut the parking lot property, and it's toward the back of the property, which typically hasn't been used, and it's grassy, and it's been gravelly. And in that area, the historic area, there hasn't been any lighting for 200 years. And when we're looking at a lightly used rug factory, whether it was 1, 2, or 3 shifts, even when we weren't there 22 years ago, if there were 3 shifts, you wouldn't be having cars all times of night in that area. You wouldn't have it lit up. You wouldn't have it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week activity. I feel like no matter what we do, we're going to have a diminishment of our property. And I wrote to you very early in the process, concerned about the quiet part of our properties are our backyard. We have the frontage where we have a lot of walkers, a lot of traffic. We have neighbors on either side. And the only piece we have is in the backyard. I'm concerned about density, I'm concerned about the neighborhood, but I'm trying to save my peace of mind and the peaceful enjoyment of our property. Nobody here is going to fight for that. I hear people saying, I don't have a problem with 127. But if 127, drives how many cars are in there, that's a lot. And it is going to result, I know, I live there, we're going to have traffic light on Constitution and Hope. I can't see avoiding it. My brother-in-law is a planner in Maine, and he said, really, buffer zones aren't a perfect pill. They're a purple pill. They're not going to cure all. Typically, they'd be 25 to 35 feet. And when people come up here and say, 10 feet's okay with me, 15's not okay with me. Why don't we count that toward the buffer zone? Everybody's reaching for, which is a great idea, for the town to have this parking lot or the town to have this dock. But literally, if I'm sitting in my kitchen and have headlights in my face, if we're having these beeps going off all night when people are starting their cars, coming out of their cars, why don't you give them open space for a 20-foot buffer zone and really work with them, whether it's a brick wall, where it's lighting at waist high, that factory's going to be lit up, just like the Samsonite. That's been pitch black for years, at night, on the weekend. And I can't imagine it not diminishing our quality of life and the value of our property. And we have paid dear on taxes, and we have put probably thousands and thousands of dollars to maintain our property in accordance with all the rules. True divided light in our basement windows, wood gutters, rebuilding our porch twice to go with historical materials. And I really ask you to do whatever you can to preserve our quality of life. I get that there are other needs and balances, but it's simply not fair for the developer to come in here and ask for all this extra density and these other concessions and ignore people who've been paying taxes for decades. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.